All right, can you explain to our audience, because there's a lot of information going on. You've done interviews all over the place, and there's all these TikTokers and YouTubers and everything talking about it. What happened with the $5,000 that Joseph says he had in his house? I know there was supposedly a miscount. What did the department say? I heard somewhere that they said, and I don't know if this is true and this is about running, but that the officer they had do the first count can't count.
Oh,
or something
okay.
like that. Like they knew that he had some kind of issue with counting. And so I'm just, can you educate us with facts about what happened with the $5,000 and this, like, problems over a period of time with this money?
So the officer can't counting was something that happened at trial because I had made a comment to Mr. Robinson about multiplication, and he said no. And I said, what do you mean you can't? And I said something to the effect, what do you mean you can't count? And so that's where that came from. That was a statement in trial, taken somewhat out of proportion. So during the search of the residence, money was found in two locations. There was a certain amount of money found in a pocket of one of the suits of Mr. Foreman, and then there was also money found on a desk in another part of the house. According to the search warrant return, that came to a little over $5,000. When the money was returned to Mr. Foreman months later, it was $400 short. And now that is $400 short from the amount of money that's written on the bag itself and on the search warrant. So, I mean, their records show it's wrong. And it was admitted to by the evidence officer because I don't have another $400 to give you. You have to admit it's wrong. And so that was counted, and that money was counted by the evidence tech, Mr. Foreman's attorney who was with him, and Mr. Foreman himself. So they counted it 3 times, and it always came up the same. Now, that being said, what happened to that money was a question of the trial, because one of the questions was, did they steal it? And was that fact, or was Mr. Foreman have a good faith basis for the opinion of it? So the officers presented testimony from Detective Robinson. Detective Robinson is with the Claremont County Sheriff's Department. He is one of their evidence techs down there, and he did an investigation on that. Now, there was 2 parts to his investigation. One was a full audit of all the cash money in the Adams County Sheriff's evidence locker. There's 77 items in there. Of those, six was miscounted, and they were miscounted by about $10 either way. And also, the interesting thing is, at least 3 of the envelopes in evidence were unsealed, which that's also insane that you would have money evidence unsealed. So that was the results of his audit. From there, he then reviewed the body cam of Brian Newland to see if he could determine what happened. I still don't know how he explains it. It doesn't make sense to me, but somehow, if you watch Mr. Newland's body cam, you can see the money only halfway. He says he can see where Mr. Newland made a count and then miscounted it by the $400 or so. He then says the second money, they can't tell if it was miscounted or not because it wasn't on body cam, but he assumes it was miscounted. That report then goes on to attack Mr. Foreman, saying that Mr. Foreman, right after the raid, said he had only $4,000. But Mr. Robinson did not investigate the evidence tech who was there with him for 2 hours while he audited all the money. He never talked to Mr. Foreman, never reviewed all the body cam, just reviewed this section on the counting. The reason why it's important to review all the body cam is out of 8 hours of body cam, you can play a game, where's the money? And you'll see him count it, put it in an evidence bag, put it here, here. And what we ended up showing is that not only did it move around the house unsealed, but it was left unattended. So Brian Newland left it in Sean Cooley's possession, and Sean just left it on a table, walked outside, and I guess had a cigarette or something. And so the money was left unattended. So we really can't say what happened to the money because it wasn't counted sealed. It was counted, left open, and then just traveled around. And anybody could have touched it. Anything could have happened to it. So that's really what happened with the money according to the video footage and evidence we presented at trial.
Very professional to just leave the money unsealed. You think they would just automatically seal it and stick it in someone's trunk where all the other evidence they're collecting is.
Well, you would think they'd also have. So one of the things I asked him was, I'm like, well, isn't every person that touches that bag in the chain of evidence? No. I'm like, because I would have had, Brian Newland, Sean Cooley, you would have had everybody initialing it so as it transfers to person, we could track it. They didn't do it that way, so it would never have had a correct chain of custody on it.
Thanks for staying with us to the end. If you believe in this work, like this video and subscribe to help us amplify our message. And if you want to be part of the change, check out the links below to support or get involved.